This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Today we're joined by the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher, not only heavyweight prospect, finally a history graduate as well. Johnny, first and foremost, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Ryan. I hope you're well. And yeah, it was good to finally finish with the ceremony, etc. I graduated in 2020, but it's good to finally get the old hat and the old cloak on and throw it up in the air. That was good fun.
That's good to hear. We were just talking a bit off camera about it, obviously with COVID and everything else. Graduated a long time ago, but to have the ceremony and stuff like that, nice to just finally get that box ticked.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to go back as well. I went to Exeter a few months back. My dad done a personal appearance down there, but it was good to see all my old mates and stuff. People that you not forget, but you remember. I remember him. Like used to spend nearly every day together with these sort of people doing your course and stuff. So it was good to see some old faces and see that everyone's doing well.
Yeah, that's it. And look, let's get back to boxing. You had that little bit of a break by your own standards anyway, a break. You know, you've been so active since you turned pro.
Yeah.
Had the injury, bit of time out. I know it was a necessary break and not one you chose to have because of injuries, but
yeah.
You think it was needed after that fast run as the start of your pro career?
Oh, yeah, definitely needed. I had 5 fights within the space of 1 year. As someone who's only had a handful of amateur fights as well, I did gain a lot of experience in that time. It was brilliant. We gathered a lot of momentum, but it's good to reflect, sit back, and 3-4 months. It's not a huge break in terms of what I had off, but I had a good 3-4 months of just resting, relaxing, and now we're ready to go again. And the most important thing is my hand feels better, so it's a good sign.
So you said your hand feels better. Have you been back to punching for quite a while now?
Yeah, for at least a couple of months, I would say, or just under a couple of months. Sparring Derek again tomorrow, so that'll be good. And listen, if I weren't fit and ready to spar Derek with, I wouldn't be doing it with one hand. Let's put it that way. So I know I'm ready to go because I've got to throw it and be ready to go with someone like Del Boy.
Yeah, I was going to come on in a bit, but we'll start there now since you brought it up. Sparring with Derek Chisora. We saw the photo. Obviously, you guys getting that work together. Is he as intense in sparring as we've seen him in the ring in the last few years?
Yeah, he's done 10 rounds with 3 different sparring partners, so he's intense. He's still got to be intense. It's hard work. It was grueling heat as well. It was about 30 degrees, so he's putting the work in. And listen, we know Derek. He's been going for ages and ages now, but he's still got that hunger there, and he's still dangerous as ever. So it is intense. He brings a ferocity. And it's very hard. It's taxing to fight someone like him or sparring because you've got to constantly be either plodding in, popping the jab out, or moving on your feet, or you've got to stand and hold ground with him. And we know if you do that with anyone, it's going to be hard work. So if you beat Derek Chisora, you're a top fighter because he's hard work.
Yeah, there was a lot kind of made of the photo of you two after sparring. I'm sure you saw, know, people saying they're worried about him or he looked this and he looked that. But I suppose the bottom line is if you've just done 10 rounds in the heat, how do you want to look?
Exactly. He's just done 10 rounds. I've done 3 rounds. I only done 3 rounds with him. He'd done 10 rounds with 3 different sparring partners. So people just love to jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, he looks this, he looks that. People love it, especially when people love just saying negative things about people. So I wouldn't pay much attention. If anybody does 10 rounds with 3 young, fresh heavyweights, they're going to look tired, aren't they? So I don't read too much into it. And it was 30 plus degrees that day as well.
Exactly. Now, you do have your comeback kind of penciled in now for Sheffield. What kind of level opponent do you want to be in with?
I'll leave that completely up to Matchroom and the S-Jam. They sort that out. I want someone who's going to test me, of course, because the last fight I got tested a little bit, and every fight you want to have a little bit of a more test. But whoever they give me, all I'm worried about is getting the victory and doing what Mark Tibbs tells me to. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't concern myself with who the opponent is. It's not my problem. I've just got to do whatever they tell me to do, and I'll get in there.
We mentioned your activity that you've had since the start of your pro career and the small layoff with the hand injury, but is the level of activity you had before what you want to keep going now that the hand's better?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I'd love to fight at least 3 more times this year. So that'd probably be, as you said, August time, then October, then December. That would be good. Another 3 in this year. So, I want to be as active as possible because not making up for the years when I haven't had as an amateur, but it's just gaining more and more experience, get to 15, 20 fights in, and then I'll be a lot more experienced and be where I need to be.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, I saw that you'd met Sugar Ray Leonard fairly recently.
Yeah.
Did you manage to have a chat with him?
Yeah, I did a little chat with him. Scott Welch, I saw Scott Welch there. I think he was helping run the event because he does a lot of stuff for charities as well. And one of the organisers brought me in. I saw Scott. He was very friendly. Then he said, "Do you want to have a chat to Sugar Ray Leonard?" And it was brilliant. I didn't speak to him too much. I just said, "It's an honour to meet you. I'm a fighter myself." And just a very friendly bloke, very, very friendly man. He does a lot of charity work for people with diabetes. So he didn't have to be there that night. He does it because he loves doing the charity work, and he's a proper champion for doing that.
I suppose I wonder whether it's different for fighters. Even as a fighter yourself, do you still get a little bit starstruck when you meet the likes of a Sugar Ray Leonard?
It's like, it's not starstruck. It's just like a bit of disbelief because he's one of the best to ever do it. Out of the four kings, he's probably the best one, wasn't he? So it's a privilege and an honour to meet someone like him, and what a nice bloke he seemed as well.
Yeah. Johnny, obviously we had the Usyk-Joshua launch press conference yesterday. We finally got it official, saw them head to head there. I want to ask you first about AJ, and he's trained and brought in Robert Garcia. Do you think it's a right first step to acknowledge the need for change firstly?
Yeah, I think it's important to have to freshen things up, I think, because he has been going a very long time. AJ has done brilliantly well, but sometimes you need a change, and this could be the making or breaking of him. We'll see. But it's good what Tyson done as well when Tyson changed to his trainer at Sugar Hill. I think it's important to freshen things up when necessary. I'm interested to see it. They both had a proper stare down as well, didn't they? Usyk still won that stare down because Usyk looked away last. Joshua turned. They was both locking on. They was turning away. So it's one that Usyk because he won the stare off.
With Usyk, we've seen the training photos of him when we saw him at the press conference. He's looking a bit bigger. He's looking thicker as a heavyweight now. Do you think it'll be more of the same from him, though, in the rematch? Not really much need to change too much?
I think the more that if Joshua tries to go for it a bit more, I think that will give more chance for Usyk to pick him off. But I think we've all saying it and everyone's saying it. The logical thing is for Joshua to step up the tempo. To say that, it's very easy to say it, but to do it against someone like Usyk is going to be very difficult because, as you said, he's very skilled as a technician. He'll pick people off, but that is what Joshua's got to do. But he can't be too reckless with it. What I do draw a comparison to when Chisora fought Usyk, he gave him a tougher fight than what Joshua did. So you are going to have to instill some of them come forward brutish tactics, but do it in a neat and safe way, is most importantly. Because if Usyk hits Joshua, it's probably going to be and catches him on the button, it probably will be a stoppage.
With that said, if you had your last quid and you had to pick one or the other, if I put you on the spot, Usyk or Joshua?
I think Usyk. That's what I think. Just from the past performance and the amateur pedigree of Usyk. I know it's not the be-all and end-all, but I think after the last result and what I've seen of Usyk, I'll go with Usyk again.
And last one, I just want to finish with your sparring partner, Derek Chisora. He's got his own fight to be working towards. Pulev. Been a long time since they shared the ring together. Who wins and how? And do you think it'll be a more exciting fight than the first time we saw them in the ring?
Yeah, I think with Derek, sometimes you turn up and it's not as exciting as people plan, but there's always that chance that it's going to be an exciting fight. You look at the Parker Chisora fight, that was very entertaining. I was there watching that. And I think Derek's still got a lot to give. So I hope Chisora wins. I hope he brings the win in for Britain. And I'm a Derek Chisora fan, but it's going to be a tough test because Pulev don't back off either. He doesn't back off. He likes to fight as well. But I think the pressure, the strength of Derek Chisora, the come forward nature of him, I think that will hopefully, if he implements his tactics correctly, if it goes to points, because it could go to points, I think that will sway the judges in his favour. All
right, Johnny, well, thank you for making time for Boxing Social as always. I'm sure we'll catch you up in Sheffield very soon.
Thanks very much, Ryan. Good to speak to you, mate, and I hope you're good. I'll see you soon.